In today's Our Region's Business Online Extra, we're talking about what it's going to take to get Pennsylvania started again. And here to explain is Matt Smith, president of the Greater Pittsburgh Chamber of Commerce, an affiliate of the Allegheny Conference, which co-produces this program. Matt, great to see you.
Great to be with you.
Yeah, I want to say every day there's news. It's really every hour. Yesterday, the news certainly was the governor's strategy, Pennsylvania Governor's Tom Wolf's strategy to begin to reopen the state. Can you explain what he's got in mind?
Sure. Well, the governor last evening announced a reopening Pennsylvania plan that at least provides a framework for Pennsylvania to begin reopening our economy. And the governor really emphasized a couple of different larger points in the reopening framework, one of which is that it will be data-driven. It's going to be driven by metrics that are actually in the process of being developed by our very own Carnegie Mellon University. And those metrics are going to include things like the testing capacity within a specific region and county, the hospital and healthcare provider capacity within a specific region and county, the percentage of COVID positive tests within a specific region and county. And so that data is going to drive the Commonwealth decision on whether and when and where to reopen the economy in Pennsylvania. And so it's going to be data driven. It's also going to be very much regionally and county based. And so just like the governor closed down the economy by focusing on it as a county by county issue, the reopening will also be focused very much on counties and regions, because I think the governor made a really good point, and this is something we've emphasized with the state. Not every region and not every county is in the same circumstance as it relates to COVID positive tests, healthcare capacity, testing capacity, those items that the governor is going to use to drive these decisions.
Yeah, important to note, though, even if it's county by county, it doesn't mean that when the county gets the go-ahead, life goes back to the way it was in February, does it?
That's exactly right. And so if you look at it and assume everyone is in the red light category right now, the governor is going to break down the reopening into three different phases: red light, yellow light, and green light. And so if you assume everyone now, all 67 counties within Pennsylvania with the governor's stay-at-home order, all of those counties would fall within the red category. When as early as next week, there are likely to be counties and regions within the state who pivot to the yellow light category, and that would mean there would still be various protective measures in place, face masks, social distancing, things like that, where employees can do telecommuting. That is strongly encouraged. But businesses would begin the reopening once they are in a county or a region that has been designated with the yellow category.
So, but even when we make it all the way to green and a county manages to make that transition, it still won't be life the way it was, right?
No, that's exactly right. I mean, I think I would put the green category into what has often just been described as the new normal category, which is businesses are going to reopen, but large gatherings are still going to be prohibited. There will still be requirements to comply with the Department of Health and the CDC safety guidelines for things like social distancing, wearing masks, and going out in public. There will be requirements on employers, and certainly guidelines will be issued in this regard as well from the state. There are going to be guidelines issued that strongly encourage and require employers to make sure that their employees are working in safe environments, social distancing, plexiglass and protective equipment where that's necessary. And so that, even in that green phase, we are still going to have to be very vigilant as it pertains to the virus until we get a vaccine.
Yeah, and I know you're participating in an Allegheny Conference webinar on Friday the 24th on just this issue, and people can find it on our website, AlleghenyConference.org. But I wonder, as you're talking with business people or have this opportunity to talk with business people about how they begin to approach this. You're running a business. What should I start thinking about doing now to begin to prepare, no matter what phase I think I'm going to hit when?
Yeah, I think a couple of key points are, make sure that you have the right PPE in place within your business. And if you don't have the right PPE, there are avenues you can go, particularly at the state level, to obtain that kind of equipment. I think it's really important for employers to focus on open communication with their employees. And so, for example, if someone's able to telecommute, that's a great option in order to mitigate against the risk of this virus. Maintaining different shifts for your operations is also going to be a big part of how we move forward. And so I think one of the big things and one of the key roles that I think the Allegheny Conference can and will play is ensuring that employers in the region have access to that information, and almost in the form of a checklist that an employer, small business, large business, can go down to make sure that they're providing the most safe possible work environment for their employees and for their customers.
All right, we'll make sure all this information as well as our webinars are available at AlleghenyConference.org. Matt Smith from the Greater Pittsburgh Chamber, thank you so much.
Thanks, Bill.
I'm Bill Flanagan, and that's today's Online Extra.